for the opportunity to speak with you this evening. My name is Barrera, and together, following Jenny's very powerful presentation, we're going to explore the power of paid parental leave. In order to do so, we'll take a look from all angles of the issue. We'll look at a global, a local, a personal, and a business perspective. But first, allow me to introduce myself. I am a new working mom, and I'm the daughter of a small business owner. She had the luxury of taking me to work with her the first few months of my life, so that's my reference point. But many new parents do not have that luxury. They're faced with a more difficult choice. Get back to work as soon as they possibly can to provide for their family, or stay home and take care of their new child and their own bodies and that. But thankfully, many new parents around the world are provided a minimum paid maternity leave for those that give birth. In order to kind of take a look at a global perspective, we'll use the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development to take a look at what the world view looks like. Spoiler alert though, you will not see the U.S. on this list of countries, as they are the only nation in the developed world that does not provide paid maternity leave. The average paid leave in the OECD is 18 weeks. Leading the pack for those countries that provide fully paid leave is Poland with 20 weeks, and even our next door neighbors in Mexico provide 12 weeks of paid leave for their new mothers. Far more countries provide longer terms of leave at partial pay. At a minimum, countries in the OECD provide 8 weeks of paid maternity leave. And if you're wondering, fairly wondering, whether citizens actually use this benefit, the New Zealand Prime Minister just made history by doing so when she gave birth during her term. While some countries report a declining birth rate, like France, Italy, South Korea, and Japan, a declining birth rate, there are other more promising examples, like Israel, and then Germany, which reports an increasing birth rate, provides 14 weeks of leave, and their citizens take advantage of it. I'm getting too far away. But America didn't become America by following the pack. We pride ourselves on being different, but it's undeniable that we can do better. So taking a look at what it looks like at home, we have only 12 weeks of unpaid leave provided by the government, and hopefully it qualifies you to return to a job like we know in Jenny's case was not the case. But we're also reporting a declining birth rate, which is an issue, and things that are contributing to that are a high maternal mortality rate, high cost of child care, high cost of childbirth, and this is undoubtedly an issue, but to really understand the issue, let's make it a little more personal. I have a friend that is about 2 months postpartum. If her employer doesn't provide paid leave, on top of the medical bill starting to roll in, she's faced with probably looking at returning to work as quickly as possible, putting her child in daycare before they can ever be vaccinated. And that's just not sustainable when she's spending half of her workday pumping and then just got cleared to drive a week ago and carry anything heavier than her baby, like a briefcase with a computer. So at the risk of stating the obvious, America, we have a problem. As business professionals, we know that we need to foster economic growth. In order to do that, we have to grow our population, but our policies are not enabling us to do so. So what if you hear a problem, you wonder what's the solution? And I'm proposing a federally mandated minimal paid maternity leave to be a great start to address that problem. The research speaks for itself. The Department of Labor, and everyone can see this study as a link provided. The Department of Labor shows that the availability of paid leave has a positive correlation with employee retention, participation in the workforce, productivity, morale, and at no additional cost to the employer. The benefit to the employee is obvious, but we haven't even addressed the issue of expanding this to fathers for bonding purposes. Studies show when it's expanded to new parents that didn't give birth or fathers, that fosters gender equity in the workplace and at home. They're able to form that foundational bond with children in those crucial first few months. And if we want them to be equal partners so that more women can be better leaders, then they need to have that opportunity too. So there are plenty of campaigns for paid maternity leave out there going on. You may have heard Ivanka Trump talking about her work in Washington that she's doing with this. It's bipartisan support. It just hasn't been made a priority. That's where we come in. As future decision makers, if we can slowly start to implement paid paternity leave policies and demonstrate success, then eventually we can help America do better. In order to further illustrate my point, I just want to close with an updated family photo. That little bundle of joy in my arms just turned 2 months old. And I'm fortunate enough to work for an employer that allows me to be here and take paternal leave, be here with you this evening, contribute more to my family, and ultimately contribute to the economy. And it's my hope and mission that every American is afforded the same luxury, the power of paid paternity leave.